Hello and welcome back to my new YouTube video. I really hope you're not distracted because of the new background, but I thought we could just try out different locations. I forgot to post a YouTube video last week. I don't know how that happened, genuinely. I just think I'm pretty occupied with school at the moment and that's why I forgot. Well, first of all, I dyed my hair. I guess you could notice that. It's not permanent. And I don't know if I like it, but I think I got used to it now, so it's okay. I have different topics to talk about. First of all, I bought some of the Stranger Things Kinder Joys yesterday, and I want to show you which characters I got. I bought 7 because it was a 7. The first one I got is this Demogorgon. It's literally on my backpack for school. It's so cool. I got another Demogorgon. Then I got Steve in the Upside Down, normal Steve, Max in the Upside Down, and normal Max. I also got Robin, but she's in my other room, so yes, but I'm actually pretty happy, but I will still be getting more because I still want Mike and Will. I don't care. I know Will is pretty rare, but I still want Will, and I'm going to spend all my money on this, but yeah, anyway. So that's the first news. Second news is Byler is literally confirmed now. Okay, well, it's not confirmed, but to me it's... Okay, it has always been confirmed to me. I'm so sorry, guys. I could not find the TikTok, but I saw a TikTok where the 2 Funko Pops of Will and Mike were together in a package, and I think this will probably be on Tumblr. If it's real, it will be on Tumblr and people will bring it up, so yeah. And the Stranger Writers have been promoting Crazy Together, like crazy, genuinely. Byler is so endgame, guys. Anyway, this video is not about Byler, okay? Maybe my next video will be about Byler again, but it's also kinda about Byler if you think about it. Because I'm going to talk about this beautiful book, and this book is so important to me. I've read it some time ago now, I think maybe some weeks ago. And this book is so important to me, actually. I have some things I want to go over. I will not spoil you because if you want to read the book, then you can read the book without being spoiled by me. This book is about Robin, by the way, as a character. So it's basically a bit about her life and about her as a character and about her friends. So if you're interested in finding out more about Robin as a character, then I really recommend this because it's such a great book and it's not boring, it's not too long. It's actually like the letters are actually not that small, so it's really easy to read even if you don't read much normally. And it's really interesting, and there are many references actually. At first I'm going to read the blurb so that you know what this book is about, I guess. High school is a monster and it's eating everyone Robin knows. It's the beginning of sophomore year and Robin's odd squad friends have decided this time they're going to fit in and act normal. Robin knows the game well. She's been pretending for years, hoping nobody would notice the sarcastic polyglot French horn player with a bad perm in the back of the room. But there's one aspect of her identity that she knows for sure doesn't fit with her carefully controlled image. Something she's only just now realizing. Robin likes girls. How exactly is she supposed to be her true self in teeny tiny Hawkins, Indiana? Robin is convinced the only way she can experience real life is by fleeing to Europe for the summer, aka Operation Croissant. But she has no money, no permission, and no one to share that adventure with. And it will take a heck of a lot more than that to escape Hawkins in one piece. Sprinkled with references to your favorite Stranger Things characters, this prequel chronicles one girl's realization that the only person she really needs to be accepted by is herself. So, okay. Basically, the main topics of this book are living in a small town and wanting to run away and escape this small town, basically. I can relate. I live in a small town as well, and I'm not the biggest hater of living in a small town, but it can have disadvantages. Anyway, then obviously gay realizations and trying to hide it. Yeah, I guess you can actually read the process of Robin realizing she likes girls, and it's really interesting actually. Yeah, obviously feeling different. At the end, it's really empowering to be your true self and to find out who you actually want to be, and it's not only relatable but also empowering at the end, and that's really beautiful. And at the end of this book, we also have the beginning of Max's book, so you can actually read a bit like into Max's book and if you want to read this as well. And I must say that Robin, after reading this book, she's like one of my favorite characters. Like, I thought she was cool, but she was never that important to me. And at first I started to listen to the podcast on Spotify. It's actually free. I will link it in the description actually. So at first I was listening to the podcast and I listened to it twice before reading the book. And like when I started to listen to the podcast, I started to love Robin because she's like so relatable in many ways. And I also really like the book references in the podcast. For example, Frankenstein is a book that I really like. I've also read Frankenstein. So there have been many references and I really liked that and I really enjoyed that. One metaphor that I've noticed in this book that has been like kind of there the entire time is basically this there being a monster in Hawkins, and this book is from the time before Robin knows about like the Upside Down and everything. So basically she talks about like forced conformity kind of as a monster, but it's also like basically a reference to the monsters of the Upside Down. So basically you could say the monsters of the Upside Down or the Upside Down in general is like a metaphor for like forced conformity and conservatism. And then I have some quotes I want to talk about. I get the sense that I don't quite fit in with most of the band kids. That no matter how much time I spend with them, I'll never be one of them. I don't know, man. I just want to include this because it's like comforting. Like if you yourself feel like that sometimes and then you read a book like that, it's so comforting in a way to see that you're not the only one struggling. And that's why I love like films, shows, books, because you can just see that you're not alone in your experiences. Whatever you're experiencing, someone has experienced it before, and that's so beautiful. That's why I love reading and watching films and talking about Stranger Things. Here's a paradoxical problem. Either you fall into the deadly trap of trying to be like everybody else, or you get devoured for being different. And that is so true. It's just so true because you can decide if you want to be yourself for yourself, if you want to live for yourself, or if you want to live for other people. If you live for other people, you kind of lose yourself. If you live for yourself, you're not liked by other people. And I think it's really important that you decide to be yourself because in the end, you will die one day and you have a limited time on this earth. So I would not waste time by trying to be like everybody else. Karen says to Robin, I can tell you that those high school days are golden. You should enjoy them. You have to enjoy things while you still can. And then Robin says, what happens to the people who already aren't enjoying any of this? How much worse is it going to get for us? And I think this is like a common thing that elderly people say to young people, that you should enjoy your teenage years and things like that. And some people have said that to me as well. And I think it can be sad when you're like a person who's like, for example, lonely or depressed during your teenage years, and then someone says, yeah, these are your golden years. That can be so like disappointing, demotivating for people. I think your 20s or 30s can be as fun or even more fun than your teenage years. It all depends on the person, and you should not be like scared for the future because everyone says, yeah, like the school years are your best years. That hasn't to be like that. Okay, then we have a small interaction between Robin and Will in this book, and it's so important to me. This is so important to me because I love Robin and I love Will, and they will interact in season 5. We saw that in the teaser, and it's so great for me. Like, it's so important to me, and I want to read it. So basically, Robin sees Will with Jonathan and Joyce, and then she says, I catch the kid's eye. For just a second, I want to tell him that life here is going to get better, but I don't have any comforting words. I wish I could just tell him to run. What can I say about this? This is so sad and also like so comforting, but also sad because I feel like people see Robin as this mentor for Will. but in reality she's just struggling as well, and she just feels different as well and wants to get out of Hawkins as well. Like, I feel like Robin can kind of help Will feel understood, but I think Will can help Robin to feel understood as well. Like, Robin is not this sensei for Will, you know what I mean? I wish I could just tell him to run. This is so sad. Run, boy, run. Small town boy reference. Tam is a girl that Robin has a crush on, so. I carry my dread around with me as I watch Steve Harrington in history class. I hold it close as I pass Dash in the hallway, and he smirks like he's done something truly impressive. I try to smother it in ranch dressing and French fries during lunch. I take it home and sleep with it under my pillow. I don't think anything can wash this feeling away. Bro. This sounds like depression to me, but it's not depression. I think it's like, I don't know. I just thought this was kind of poetic. And that's why I had to read it, because, I don't know, this is like, to me this is poetic in a way. This is when Robin has a conversation with her teacher, Mr. Hauser, and he says, "We might never have an easy road to what we want, Robin, but that doesn't mean we stop wanting." And this is such an important sentence for, like, homosexual people. Like, by the way, spoiler alert, Mr. Hauser is also gay. The things I did to keep myself safer, smaller, quieter, because I know how different I really am. I know that letting it all out is committing to a life where I fight the monsters of normality every single day. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? This is insane. For people who relate to her, this is insane. This makes me cry, bro. This book kind of like shows once again that Stranger Things is actually about people who are different, you know? I will talk about this so often because it's like the main reason for the show. I want everyone to see that I'm still here, that I've always been here and I've always been weird, and I'm not hiding it for anybody's comfort ever again. And this is so real, and this is so me, and this is probably part of the reason why I'm doing YouTube, because I don't give a shit. I do TikTok, for example, and people who know me in real life know my account. And they talk to me sometimes about it in real life, and people laugh about it. Like, I know that people make fun of it. But I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I could not give less of a shit. Because the thing is, I keep in mind that I will die one day. I am weird. I do things that don't fit into the box. I will do that because I like it. And I will do things that I like, even if they're like out of the box. You know what I mean? And I want you to do that too. Like, do what you like to do. Don't be basic for anyone else. Like, don't make yourself smaller for anyone else's comfort. The last one. This is a conversation with Robin's friend Dash. He's not really a friend, but you know, they're friends. But he's an asshole, genuinely. And then he says, you could be great, but you'd rather waste your time on being bizarre and different as if it makes you special. And then Robin says, I am different, Dash, I say, and I mean it in the best possible way, just like Mr. Hauser's different. I don't care how smart you think you are, you don't get to decide who belongs in Hawkins and who doesn't. I might be trying to leave, and when I do, it will be on my own terms. I look him up and down, decoding him once and for all. This was also kind of empowering. And yeah, let's get to Byler proof. Obviously, I have to make this about Byler because I make everything about Byler. Sorry, guys. No, I will not apologize because I think many people actually like when I talk about Byler. So, let's make this about Byler. So, I love when he talks about stories this way. Like they're filled with meaning that could leap out and surprise us at any moment. And depending on who is reading them and when and where and why, different meanings are waiting for us to discover. Basically just telling us that it's okay to see meaning behind things in stories, and that Sometimes stories can surprise us. Okay, bro. Next one. Filmmaking draws me in. It's a sort of language, and I love languages. This one is made up of visual symbols and subtle looks, framing choices and music cues, sharp dialogue, and deep subtext. It's an orchestration of meaning and emotion, a way to say something that the world needs to hear. A way to say something that the world needs to hear. What does the world need to hear at the moment? Robin basically saying that filmmaking is like visual symbols and subtle looks, framing choices, and music cues. Music cues, sharp dialogue, and deep subtext. Deep subtext. They're basically telling us it's valid to look into things. What do Byler shippers do? Look deep into things. And we see the subtext. Here, Robin talks about Tam, because Tam has a crush on Steve Harrington, and then Robin says, but what if she only stares at him because she thinks she's supposed to? Okay! Forced conformity reference, forced conformity. Yeah, maybe she does, and maybe someone else on the show does as well, called Mike Wheeler, I don't know. So basically this is like a reference to forced conformity, that people sometimes like think they're supposed to like the opposite gender because it's normal. I need to talk to someone who knows what this feels like when it comes to being gay. And now the last point is my opinion on this book. I really loved getting to know more about her character, and I don't know, just finding out who she really is and the way she thinks, and I don't know, basically taking a look into her head was like so cool and so important. And I really liked the way the book was written because it was easy to read as well. It also felt really in character. Like everything I read was like, okay, this is so Robin coded. Like this felt so in character, and that is so important to me because I fucking hate, for example, reading fan fiction where the people act different than the actual character. And I was a bit scared that this would be the same with this book, but it actually wasn't. Like, it was so in character, and I really loved it. And yeah, like I said, it's an easy read. And oh my god, I need more of Sheena Rollins. Sheena Rollins is a character in the book, and she's not in the show, but she's so cool. She's so different, that she's being bullied and shit, but she does not speak. And it's not because she's like shy, but simply because she does not want to speak. And at the end, she talks to Robin for the first time. Like, she does not say a word in school, but then at the end, she talks to Robin, and this is so important to me. And Sheena Rollins is so cool. Like, I want to have more information about her. I want to see her in the show. She dresses all in white, and her clothes are self-made. And I think we also know that she's blonde and has blue eyes. So guys, should I cosplay her? That would be so cool. That would slap. I guess the last thing I could say about this book is this is my new comfort book. I loved it. New comfort book. I love Robin. Robin is one of my new favorite characters. What the fuck is going on with my cat? So I can really recommend this book for you. It costs like $12. And it's really, really cool. I read it in English, and for people whose first language is not English, you can still read it. Like, I've read it, it was an easy read, and it was so cool and comforting. And for people who kind of think Robin is a relatable character, read this book. It's really worth it. Yes, so I guess that was it actually. My next video will be maybe something about Byler again, because or do you want me to react to all the promo we've got? I could do that. And if not, you can still leave like ideas in the comments if you want to. That was it. Tell me if you like this video, and yeah, I guess see you soon. Over and out.